Mae West, an unforgettable name that continues to echo through the annals of entertainment history. From her fearless debut on the Brooklyn stage as a child to becoming one of Hollywood's most iconic trailblazers, Mae was more than just a performer. She was a force of nature. Known for her wit, charm, and unapologetic defiance of societal norms, Mae West broke barriers at every turn, leaving a legacy that still inspires us today. In this video, we'll journey through her fascinating life, exploring the pivotal moments that shaped her career, the controversies that surrounded her, and the relationships that defined her unique story. Let's dive into the extraordinary life of Mae West. Mae West was born Mary Jane West on August 17, 1893, in Brooklyn, New York, to parents John Patrick West, a prizefighter and later a special policeman, and Mathilda Tilly Delker West, a former corset model and aspiring actress. Mae grew up in a working-class family in the Williamsburg section of Brooklyn, a vibrant, diverse area that likely influenced her later confidence and sharp wit. Her parents played significant roles in shaping her personality. Her father's toughness and resilience, coupled with her mother's artistic aspirations, created a unique blend of practicality and ambition in young Mae. Even as a child, Mae was a natural performer, often mimicking the adults around her and entertaining family and neighbors with her comedic timing. Her flair for the dramatic was apparent early on, and her mother encouraged her budding talent, seeing in Mae the potential to achieve the dreams she had never realized for herself. Mae's precocious nature often set her apart from other children, as she showed an unusual level of determination and self-awareness. At just 5 years old, Mae was already performing in local amateur shows, and by the age of 7, she had secured her first professional stage appearance at Brooklyn's Royal Theater. Her debut performance was a family affair, with her mother helping her prepare and advocating for her to be taken seriously. One particularly defining moment during this time came when Mae insisted on having a spotlight during her performance. When her request was ignored, she boldly stopped mid-performance, demanded the spotlight, and refused to continue until it was provided. This act of defiance, though unconventional for a child, was met with applause from the audience, solidifying her reputation as a fearless and determined performer even at such a young age. Mae's childhood was not without challenges, though. As a young girl in the early 20th century, she faced the societal constraints placed on women and girls. The pressure to conform to the era's expectations of femininity and domesticity was immense. Yet Mae remained steadfast in her desire to carve out her own path. She idolized strong female performers of the time and absorbed influences from vaudeville, burlesque, and the vibrant entertainment culture that surrounded her in New York City. While Mae West's career often took center stage, her family provided the foundation for her bold personality and relentless ambition. Born into a working-class household, Mae's parents, John Patrick West and Mathilda Tilly Delker West, came from humble backgrounds, but were rich in determination and resilience. Her father, known as Battlin' Jack, was a former prizefighter who later worked as a special policeman. His tough, no-nonsense demeanor and fighting spirit left a lasting impression on Mae, teaching her the value of standing her ground and confronting challenges head-on. Her mother, Tilly, was an equally formidable influence, but in a different way. A former corset model and aspiring actress, Tilly harbored dreams of a life in the arts, dreams that she couldn't fully realize herself. When she saw Mae's talent for performance, she channeled her own aspirations into her daughter, becoming her staunchest supporter and advocate. Tilly's unwavering belief in Mae's abilities gave her the confidence to pursue a life on stage at a time when women were often discouraged from stepping into the spotlight. She helped Mae prepare for her early performances, guiding her through rehearsals and ensuring she had every opportunity to succeed. Mae was the eldest of 3 children, with a younger sister, Mildred Catherine West, and a brother, John Edwin West II. Though little is documented about her siblings, Mae's role as the eldest child likely contributed to her assertiveness and leadership qualities. The West household was reportedly a lively and supportive environment, where humor, storytelling, and Mae's budding performances took center stage. This atmosphere nurtured her creativity and comedic instincts, which would later become hallmarks of her career. Despite their modest means, Mae's parents instilled in her a sense of pride and determination. Her father's tales from the boxing ring and her mother's passion for the arts inspired her to balance strength with finesse, a duality that became central to her public persona. Tilly, in particular, played an instrumental role in Mae's development, often attending her performances and cheering her on from the sidelines. Mae would later credit her mother as the driving force behind her fearlessness and her ability to demand respect even in male-dominated spaces. Mae West's career was a remarkable journey of rebellion, creativity, and triumph, marked by her relentless pursuit of authenticity and her fearless defiance of societal norms. Starting her career in vaudeville, Mae quickly made a name for herself with her unique blend of humor, boldness, and charisma. She became known for her sharp wit and provocative performances, which often pushed the boundaries of what was considered acceptable for women at the time. By the 1920s, she had transitioned to Broadway, where her talent as both a performer and a writer began to shine. In 1926, Mae wrote, produced, and starred in Sex, a play that became infamous for its risqué themes and unapologetic exploration of female desire. Though Sex was a box office hit, it also attracted the ire of moral watchdogs, leading to Mae's arrest in 1927 for corrupting the morals of youth. Rather than shrinking from the scandal, Mae embraced it, using her time in jail to further solidify her image as a fearless advocate for women's independence. Fellow inmates admired her audacity, and the publicity surrounding her arrest only heightened her fame. Mae later remarked that the experience had been invaluable as it drew attention to her cause and amplified her voice in a society eager to silence women like her. After conquering Broadway, Mae turned her attention to Hollywood, making her film debut in 1932 with Night After Night. Even in her first film role, Mae refused to be just another supporting character. She rewrote her lines to reflect her signature style, turning a minor role into a standout performance. One of her most famous quips from the film, "Goodness, what beautiful diamonds," followed by "Goodness had nothing to do with it, dearie," cemented her as a star. This marked the beginning of a series of iconic roles that allowed Mae to reshape the portrayal of women in cinema. Her subsequent films, including She Done Him Wrong, 1933, and I'm No Angel, 1933, not only became box office hits but also redefined the roles women could play in Hollywood. Mae's characters were unapologetically confident, sexually liberated, and quick-witted, a stark contrast to the demure, submissive female archetypes of the time. Her films often carried underlying themes of female empowerment, encouraging women to embrace their desires and stand up for themselves. Mae's influence extended beyond her on-screen performances. As a writer, she had significant control over her scripts, ensuring that her characters reflected her vision of empowered femininity. Her work played a crucial role in challenging Hollywood's restrictive Hays Code, which sought to censor sexually explicit and provocative content. Mae cleverly navigated these restrictions with her signature double entendre, allowing her to push boundaries while staying within the rules. By the 1940s, Mae's film career began to wane, but she remained a cultural icon. She returned to live performances, including successful runs in Las Vegas, and appearances on radio and television. In 1978, at the age of 85, she made her final film appearance in Sextet, a bold project that exemplified her enduring charisma and refusal to conform to societal expectations about aging. Playing a glamorous and desirable woman, Mae once again challenged stereotypes, proving that age was no barrier to confidence or allure. Though the film received mixed reviews, Mae's commitment to her craft and her unapologetic persona earned admiration from fans and peers alike. Controversy was an inseparable part of Mae West's career, but rather than shying away from it, she embraced it as a tool to amplify her message and challenge societal norms. From her early days on Broadway to her final film, Mae's boldness and willingness to defy conventions made her a magnet for scandal. One of the most infamous episodes of her career stemmed from her 1926 Broadway play, Sex. Written, produced, and starring Mae herself, the play was a sensation with audiences but drew fierce backlash from moral authorities. Critics denounced its explicit themes, and in 1927, Mae was arrested and charged with corrupting the morals of youth. Instead of retreating, Mae turned her arrest into a platform. During her 10-day jail sentence, she was treated more like a celebrity than a criminal. Wearing silk undergarments instead of the standard prison attire and receiving admiration from fellow inmates, Mae used the experience to highlight the hypocrisy of societal norms that sought to police women's expression while glorifying male dominance. The scandal not only cemented her status as a provocateur, but also brought sex widespread attention, further solidifying Mae's place in the public eye. In Hollywood, Mae continued to attract controversy, particularly for her insistence on creative control. She was notorious for rewriting her lines and refusing to conform to the restrictive moral codes imposed by the Hays Code. While other actresses might have hesitated to challenge studio executives, Mae's unapologetic confidence set her apart. Her films, including She Done Him Wrong, 1933, and I'm No Angel, 1933, were criticized for their overt sexuality and double entendres, but they were box office hits that resonated with audiences, particularly women, who saw in Mae a symbol of empowerment. Mae's career was also marked by personal controversies that further fueled her larger-than-life image. She was often accused of being too brash, too provocative, and too willing to blur the lines between her on-screen persona and her real-life identity. Her love for younger men, particularly bodybuilders, became a source of gossip, especially during the 1950s, when her Las Vegas shows featured male dancers, a revolutionary move that challenged traditional gender dynamics in entertainment. Critics labeled her as scandalous, but Mae embraced the title, famously saying, "I believe in censorship. I made a fortune out of it." Even her final film, Sextet, 1978, courted controversy. At the age of 85, Mae starred as a glamorous woman surrounded by much younger men, delivering her signature quips with unapologetic flair. The film's provocative humor and unconventional themes drew criticism, with some accusing Mae of being out of touch with modern sensibilities. Yet, true to form, Mae dismissed the negativity, stating that she wasn't concerned with what people thought. She was simply being herself. Mae West's approach to marriage and relationships was as unconventional as her public persona, reflecting her rejection of societal norms both on and off the stage. While she was known for her fondness for younger men, particularly muscular athletes and bodybuilders, Her romantic life was often the subject of both admiration and gossip. Mae herself was famously private about her personal relationships, but what is known paints a picture of a woman who valued independence and loyalty over traditional marital roles. Mae West was briefly married twice, though she rarely acknowledged these unions publicly. Her first marriage, to vaudeville performer Frank Zatkus, stage name Frank Wallace, occurred in 1911 when Mae was just 17 years old. The marriage was kept secret for decades and only became public knowledge in 1935 when reporters unearthed the marriage certificate. Mae downplayed the revelation, claiming the marriage was annulled shortly afterward and dismissing it as a youthful indiscretion. Her second reported marriage to fellow performer Guido Darrow was equally short-lived and marked by her insistence on maintaining control over her life and career. By the 1950s, Mae shifted her focus to relationships that aligned more closely with her liberated lifestyle. She developed a fascination with bodybuilders and began incorporating them into her Las Vegas nightclub shows, revolutionizing the entertainment scene by creating performances that celebrated male physicality for the enjoyment of female audiences. Among her admirers were Mickey Hargitay, a future Mr. Universe, and Paul Novak, a former bodybuilder who became her longtime partner. The rivalry between Mickey Hargitay and Paul Novak for Mae's affection became the stuff of Hollywood legend. Mickey, who was married to actress Jane Mansfield at the time, was rumored to have pursued Mae aggressively, but she ultimately rejected his advances. Paul Novak, on the other hand, won her over with his unwavering devotion and calm demeanor. Their relationship was more than a romance. It was a partnership. Paul became Mae's companion, confidant, and caregiver, remaining by her side until her death in 1980. Mae often spoke candidly about her views on marriage, expressing skepticism toward the institution. She believed that traditional marriage was restrictive and incompatible with her lifestyle and ambitions. "Marriage is a great institution," she famously quipped, "but I'm not ready for an institution." Instead of adhering to societal expectations, Mae prioritized her autonomy, surrounding herself with people who supported her independence and shared her vision. In her later years, Mae's relationship with Paul Novak exemplified a love that was unconventional but deeply loyal. Paul described their bond as a lasting partnership built on mutual respect and understanding. Even as Mae aged, she maintained her glamour and vitality, with Paul playing a significant role in preserving her legacy. Their relationship remained a testament to Mae's belief in living life on her own terms, free from the constraints of societal norms. Mae West was a magnet for admiration, not just from fans and romantic partners, but also from colleagues, peers, and even those who crossed her path briefly. Her charisma, wit, and unapologetic confidence left a lasting impression on virtually everyone she encountered, making her a revered figure both on and off the stage. One of the most notable instances of her influence was during her 10-day imprisonment in 1927 following the scandals surrounding her Broadway play sex. While many would have viewed such an event as a setback, Mae used the experience to further her image as a trailblazer. In the prison dormitory, she was greeted by fellow female inmates with cheers and applause. These women saw Mae as a symbol of defiance against societal norms that oppressed women. Mae herself later reflected on the experience, noting that it strengthened her resolve to fight for female empowerment. Her interactions with the inmates, though brief, showcased her ability to connect with and inspire others, even in the unlikeliest of circumstances. Mae's relationships with her colleagues in the entertainment industry were equally significant. Her co-stars and collaborators often spoke of her professionalism and strong work ethic. Ringo Starr, who appeared alongside her In her final film, Sextet, 1978, frequently praised her dedication. He recalled how Mae would show up for rehearsals and meetings well ahead of schedule, impeccably dressed and prepared to give her best performance. Despite her advanced age at the time, Mae maintained her trademark glamour and energy, earning the respect of her younger co-stars. Mae's collaborative relationships extended beyond Hollywood. During her years in vaudeville and Broadway, she formed strong connections with fellow performers, writers, and producers, many of whom admired her audacity and willingness to challenge the status quo. She was also known for mentoring younger performers, particularly women, encouraging them to embrace their individuality and assert their voices in a male-dominated industry. Her connection with audiences was perhaps the most profound relationship of all. Mae had an uncanny ability to understand the desires and frustrations of her viewers, particularly women. Her characters were often bold, sexually liberated, and unafraid to speak their minds, traits that resonated deeply with female audiences who saw Mae as a voice for their own struggles. This connection was not limited to the United States. Mae's films and performances garnered international acclaim, making her a global icon. Mae West's relationships also extended into the realm of cultural influence. Her larger-than-life persona inspired countless artists, writers, and performers, many of whom credited Mae with breaking barriers that allowed them to pursue their own creative visions. Figures like Madonna and Lady Gaga have cited Mae as an inspiration, noting her role in challenging gender norms and redefining what it meant to be a powerful woman in the public eye. Mae West's extraordinary life came to an end on November 22, 1980, at the age of 87, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate. Her final years were marked by the same defiance, glamour, and determination that had defined her career. Even as her health began to decline, Mae remained true to herself, refusing to conform to the societal expectations placed on aging women. Her final film, Sextet, 1978, in which she portrayed a glamorous, confident woman surrounded by younger men, was a testament to her belief that age was merely a number. The film was her last bold statement, celebrating the vitality and independence she championed throughout her life. In her later years, Mae lived in her luxurious apartment at the Ravenswood in Hollywood, a building she had called home since the 1930s. Her devoted partner, Paul Novak, stayed by her side, caring for her and ensuring she maintained her cherished lifestyle. Despite experiencing strokes in the years leading up to her death, Mae remained as vibrant as possible, continuing to make public appearances and engaging with her fans. In 1980, Mae suffered a stroke that severely impacted her speech and motor functions. After being hospitalized, she was cared for at home by Paul Novak and a team of medical professionals. On November 22nd, Mae passed away from complications of a stroke. Her death marked the end of an era, but her impact on the entertainment industry and women's empowerment was immortalized. Mae's funeral was a private affair, attended by close friends and family. She was laid to rest in Cypress Hills Cemetery in Brooklyn, New York, close to where she was born. Her simple yet elegant gravestone bears her birth name, Mary Jane West, a quiet contrast to the flamboyant and larger-than-life persona she embodied throughout her life. The legacy Mae left behind is immeasurable. She was more than an actress or a comedian. She was a cultural icon who reshaped the way women were perceived in the entertainment industry and beyond. Her wit, independence, and unapologetic confidence continue to inspire artists, performers, and feminists around the world. Mae West's story is a reminder of the power of authenticity and the impact of challenging societal norms. Even today, Mae's influence is seen in popular culture, with her films, quotes, and persona celebrated as symbols of empowerment. She famously quipped, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough," a statement that perfectly encapsulates her philosophy. Mae West did more than live, she thrived, leaving an indelible mark on the world that will not soon be forgotten. Mae West wasn't just an actress or a comedian. She was a revolutionary voice for independence, empowerment, and breaking free from conventions. Her journey from a young girl in Brooklyn daring to demand the spotlight to an 87-year-old legend challenging ageist stereotypes stands as a testament to the power of authenticity and courage. Mae once said, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough." And she truly lived her life to the fullest. If her story inspired you, don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more incredible tales of icons who changed the world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.